Hi again. It's me, Jason. Welcome back. I'm feeling a little bit sad right now. I just finished recording a video for you, and when I checked, I saw that the red light had gone off. But that's fine. Practice makes perfect, right? Also, I have a guest, a special guest today. He's a fly. He's been flying all around my head, so maybe he will show up. Maybe he'll walk around my face while I'm trying to teach you today, and that would be very funny. Anyway, I'm going to jump right in. I have time. So I wanted first, there were we'll say two things. We'll just say two things that I wanted to talk about before we start working on who again today. The first is that I asked about the sign from last week that I wasn't sure about. I thought maybe I had made a mistake about eyebrows and facial expression. And am I doing it right? As it turns out, I'm very fortunate. I have a deaf teacher who works for our program. She's awesome. She's been very supportive of me and very patient as I ask her questions. I want to make sure I'm teaching you all right. So I asked her, I've taught the parents that you put your eyebrows up for yes/no questions like this, and you put them down for WH questions. But then when I'm acting, I'm asking a child, are you hurt? Do you have a sore throat? Do you have a headache? My eyebrows went down. Am I doing it wrong? And she said, no, it's fine. She says that feeling of sympathy or concern, that facial expression will it'll be primary. It's more important than the rule about yes, no. So, sorry, my nose itches. Anyway, it felt good to know that my habit was not wrong. It's actually fine. It's okay. So I'm going to share that information with you. Normally, yes, the rule is eyebrows go up for yes, no. Eyebrows go down for WH. But if you're trying to show concern and your eyebrows are up, you're kind of sending the wrong idea. You're sending the wrong message. The kid's going to think, what? Is he happy that I have a sore throat? Is he happy that I have a headache? You want your eyebrows to go down to show concern. Do you have a sore throat? Are you sick? So you can use it for other questions too. If you're showing concern, your eyebrows will go down. So this was good for me to learn too. I'm really happy that I made that mistake. So anyway, the second thing is I wanted to announce that now we have the first Spanish translation of the video posted. So if you or any other person you know prefers Spanish for communication, then I would encourage you to check and look for that video. And I want to thank very specifically the interpreter. Her name is Rocio, and she is an aunt to a deaf child, and she has a big heart for deaf and hard of hearing kids. So thank you, Rocio. I cannot do it without you. My Spanish is lousy. Last week we talked about the sign for who. So let's practice the sign again really quickly. You're going to have, this is my dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so this is my right hand. Make an L. Take the thumb, the tip of your thumb, put it in your beard. If you do not have a beard, I'm very sorry. You won't be able to make this sign. No, just kidding, of course. On your chin. And then this finger bends twice. Who. And my eyebrows go down. So from the side, it looks like this. Who. The other side looks like this. Who. All right? Now, what do we do with the sign, and why is it so important? What do we do with the sign, and why is it so important? Well, as a teacher for 20 years now, I've seen every year the deaf and hard of hearing kids who come to my room have the same goal on the IEP, and we work on it, we work on it, we work on it. It's very hard to overcome. Why? There was a time when children are very young that they learn language more easily than later when they grow up. If during that time they have good communication and dialogue, both talking, sure. So many deaf kids can talk. Talking, signing, listening, responding, all those different things. If they don't have the experience of those turn-taking kinds of exchanges, they don't learn how it works properly. So what I'm trying to do here is give you the tools to become an even more awesome parent and really develop these question words with your kids before they have to become an IEP goal. And worse, to become an IEP goal that sticks and just continues for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years without overcoming it. This is really important. It's really important that we start as early as possible and we really develop it. So, when you ask a child who, you're expecting an answer, and the answer that you're expecting is what? You're expecting a person. You're expecting a person. So if I say who, and the child answers ball, something's wrong. They've got a disconnect. They're not understanding what information that I want them to tell me. So this is really a really important thing to note, is that hearing parents, when hearing children grow up, they don't talk perfectly right away, and they don't understand all the language rules. We, as hearing, talking parents, we show them how to ask the question. We show them how to respond. We model the response too. And if they make a mistake or a miscue, we can help. We can help change it, or we can help fix it. I think many times there are, hard-working parents of deaf or hard of hearing kids who want to help, but maybe they don't know. They don't have the skills. They can see that the child needs help, clarification, understanding, but they don't know how to provide it. So I want to help with that today. I want to help you. You remember the sign? I want to help you. I want to help all of you. So what we're going to do is you will ask your child who, and what we want is for them to answer with a person. So if they do not answer with a person, we want to tell them, oh, no. Who means, and I'll show you this sign, means person. And then we'll give them examples. So we might say, who, and the child says, duck. And you say, no. Who means, let's work on that sign, means. This is my non-dominant hand. This is my dominant hand. So my thumb over these two fingers, okay? And these two not together but apart. This hand out, like you're going to shake hands. And this one comes and touches the other hand like this. All right? So what that means is, let's see if I can show it better. If I tip it this way, I think you can see a little better. It's like two little legs that are standing on the hand now, okay? And what I'm going to do is after I've touched here, after I've touched right here on the hand, I'm going to touch and then I'm going to turn. And for me, I'm hoping I'm doing it right, both this hand kind of turns a little bit and this turns a lot. So this hand is going to do this. It's going to touch and then it's going to turn. Touch, so this part kind of out, and then turn so the back's out. This hand kind of responds to that. It kind of moves a little bit. So the first time is like this, and then it tips back a little bit. You might have to practice mean. You don't want to make a big movement. It should not be. It does not need to be dramatic. It can be a little movement. Means. Who means. And then one more word that you need to know is person. This is probably the hardest hand shape that you've had to learn so far, okay? It's for the letters K and P in the ABC, so you'll learn both of those letters today. They're not in order, but that's fine. So for K, what we're going to do is take, this is my dominant hand that I do my ABCs with. For K, you're going to put 2 fingers up, these 2 fingers up, these 2 fingers down. My thumb goes right there in between. You'll feel like back here it kind of pulls a little bit. Okay? Then the middle finger, you want to drop it forward so it looks like this. Middle finger, index finger, and the thumb in between. Okay? When this part of your hand is facing out, and your hand is up like this, that's a K. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. That's a K from the alphabet. If you drop your wrist like this, it changes into a P, L, M, N, O, P. I almost messed up my N, I think. Anyway, so K, and then it drops to a P. You need this letter, and you need this hand shape to sign person. So once you have this on this hand, you have to do the same thing on this hand. Make the same hand shape. Okay? You can see how they look. And my crooked body again. But you're going to tip them over a little bit so that these fingers are pointing kind of out. Okay? They're not perfectly straight, kind of up a little bit. And about shoulder height. And then you're going to drop it. They just drop straight down. Person. Person. It's just one motion, one time person, person. Who means person. So if the child doesn't understand and they have it mixed up, like, for example, it's very common for deaf kids to mix up, like they have mixed up or confused who and what. So if you ask who and they answer with what, like a what answer, like duck or ball or girl, well, I guess girl's a person, so it's a bad example. But anyway, if they answer with a not person answer, you can tell them, oh, no. Who means person. All right? Feel free to go back and watch that again. It's a lot. And you can see why, in sign language classes that families go and take, they will include all the question words at one time, 2 hours. You guys can sit and watch, and it's fine, but I really want to go deeper. I want to help you understand how to avoid having these goals set up on the IEP every year again and again. Now, when you ask, or sorry, not when you ask, but when you tell a child, well, no, who means person, that may seem fine, but maybe the child doesn't know what means person, what means person, what's that sign? So you might need to add some examples. So I might say, who is that? And they look over and they say, tree, and I say, oh, no. Who means, probably should turn this way, who means person? And then I could say like, this is like, it's the Y hand shape from the alphabet, these fingers down, thumb and pinky out, move side to side, like the woman, like boy, like mom, like dad. And I give some examples to help them understand what means person. Person, that might be a new word for them too. So who means person. The other way you teach is that you model and you show again and again and again. One good way of modeling, it's a really cool thing about ASL that I like, is who can be used to ask a question or just to make a statement in ASL. So if there is a special person coming to my classroom, I could announce it to the kids how. I could say, so today we have a person who's very special. They're coming to class. Who? Now my eyebrows are up wrong, so I say who? And they can maybe guess. Who? The principal. Or who? My mom. Maybe my sister is visiting. So again, you could say, and then I can answer it myself. It's a rhetorical question. I would say, instead of my mom is coming to class today, I would say, special person coming to class today, who? My mom. So by doing that, by saying who with your eyebrows down and then answering my mom with kind of a smile and yeah, that's the answer. That can help kids understand that give and take. They ask the question who, and the answer is a person, my brother, my sister. Okay? We have a lot of vocabulary to teach about people, about naming people in your family, making sure that your deaf or hard of hearing child knows the names of all the people and all the animals in your home. And so that's what we're going to focus on next time. For now, what I want you to try to focus on and try to remember is that questions develop in a child's brain. How? We ask them the questions, and we model answers till they understand that back and forth. And what I can tell you is that deaf kids struggle with the question words. I think many times the parents want to be that teacher for them, but they feel that they can't. They don't know the sign language. They don't know the rules for ASL. They don't have the skills. But let's change that. Let's change it. Let's take the power and give it to you and say that now you can become that same language model for your child that a hearing person, or I should say a hearing parent, can be for their child. You can model the language. You can model the rules. And that's power. So thank you again for coming. I am just loving this whole project, and I hope you guys are enjoying it too. You're making a difference. I'll see you next time.